Hello friends. This video I am going to start with a very bold statement. Bold because it shatters the conventional thinking of the society of non-medical people, because this perception is based on hearsay talks. Whereas what science tells, and I am going to title this video with this statement: nausea, vomiting in early pregnancy are usually good signs. I know it's a bold statement, but it is a scientific statement. Almost always, when the woman is apprehensive about pregnancy in general and nausea, vomiting in pregnancy in particular, she comes, and what we find is this in the consulting room. A common scenario where the mother in early pregnancy, expressing such a concern, collapses in the chair. Her invariable words are, "Doctor, I am feeling very uncomfortable. I have a continuous nausea and or vomiting sensation and cannot eat or drink." Having generally observed her as a general examination, I don't ignore her. I listen to her patiently. But soon, on general examination itself, it becomes clear to me that their apprehension stems from fear and anguish rather than any medical condition. Therefore, needs a doctor who listens to her patiently. And then I reassure her. My first reassurance to them is reflected in the title of this discussion. And I repeat ad nauseam, as they say in English literature: nausea and vomiting in early pregnancy are usually good signs, as they confirm your pregnancy and indicate that your baby is alive inside. So naturally her question comes is, and your question also when you are watching this video, then why does this occur? Well, let me explain this by a comparison. It is because of a conductor of the orchestra. It is because of a hormone called HCG, what we call as human chorionic gonadotropin. And what you see here is a conductor of the orchestra. This HCG is the conductor for the hormonal orchestra together and one after the other in such a way that it sustains and nourishes the pregnancy. And its side effect is nausea, vomiting. Therefore, the presence of these symptoms typically suggests that the levels of this essential hormone are adequate, indicating indirectly that the fetus is alive inside. This knowledge can be very reassuring to the pregnant woman. Imagine our situation when we were actually students about 3 decades ago. Before the widespread use of sonography, we obstetricians relied heavily on these symptoms: nausea, vomiting of early pregnancy. When a mother presented with spotting or bleeding in early pregnancy, she would come that I have missed her periods and then after I have spotted. We used to ask her, "Do you feel nauseous or have you experienced vomiting?" And if her answer is yes, we didn't have any sonography to confirm or find out how the baby is. As soon as she said yes, it brought us great relief and bolstered our confidence in reassuring her that everything is fine with the baby, go home and come back after 7 days. However, one side aspect of this. It is important to know that if nausea, vomiting is absent, or she is not experiencing nausea, vomiting in early confirmed pregnancy, it does not mean that there is something wrong. Oh, My neighbor doesn't feel it. She is also as pregnant as I am. Same weeks of pregnancy. Doesn't matter. If you are feeling it, it's good. If she is not feeling it, the fetus can still be alive and kicking inside, as they say. The occurrence of nausea is believed to depend largely on an individual's ability to tolerate it. And therefore she is more tolerant not feeling it. Doesn't mean, if there are no other problems, doesn't mean that the baby is in problem with it. Here I am giving a small warning, but I am basing it on a statistics which will reassure. Statistically, 998 out of 1000 cases of nausea vomiting in early pregnancy are not problematic. I quote evidence, but a small caveat here. 2 out of 1000 instances of vomiting in early pregnancy do need medical attention. If the vomiting is continuous or so severe that it leads to dehydration or acidosis, it is essential to seek medical help. You consult your doctor will examine and find out and tell you, go home, you are fine. Or if there is acidosis or dehydration, he or she will immediately make out. Fortunately, only 2 in 1000 pregnancies experience such a thing. So relax. Your chances are more likely to be in 998 rather than 2. So for all practical purpose in clinical practice, nausea vomiting of early pregnancy is a good sign. Your baby inside is healthy and alive. The next fear which you have or your relatives have is you are continuously having nausea, unable to eat. How will the baby get nourishment? Friends, the fear that being unable to eat in proper volume in early pregnancy will impact the nutrition of the unborn baby is completely unfounded and unscientific. At this stage of early pregnancy, the fetus and its supportive structures function autonomously and require very little help from the mother. However, as the pregnancy will progress beyond 3 months, the nausea and vomiting will typically subside because the HCG levels plateau out now. Nature is smart. It will pick up that now nourishment is required. Only her autonomous system will not be able to handle. So, her nausea and vomiting goes away. HCG levels plateau, though they don't touch 0, and the mother begins to feel hungry. This is when nutritional support becomes important for the fetus and she will take. So friends, the last slide is for a further reassurance that next time you or someone in your circle experiences nausea or vomiting of pregnancy, in early pregnancy, offer reassurance. Reassure them on the basis of this video that this is a good sign. Thank you very much.